welcome back to Bookish Brits. I'm Caroline and this is Faye, and today we're going to be talking about
Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. Dun, 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 dun. So let's start with the nice easy thing of the synopsis. You stop fearing the devil when you're holding his hand. Nothing much exciting rolls through Violet White's sleepy seaside town until River West comes along. River rents the guest house behind Violet's crumbling estate. When strange things start to happen, Violet begins to wonder about the boy living in her backyard. Violet's grandmother always warned her about the devil, but she never said he could be a dark-haired boy with a crooked smile who likes coffee and kisses you in a cemetery.
Violet's already so knee-deep in love she can't see straight, and that's just how River likes it. So, what were your overall impressions of the book?
Those were my impressions. Yeah, no, well, not my favourite read. Not really much of inspiring or great or much of anything really.
I was disappointed.
I was expecting more, and it wasn't more. It was just more of the same stuff that's already out there.
I was expecting this real creepy, we saw the trailer and it was just
atmospheric.
Just so, creepy and suspenseful and like, oh my god, I need to read this book. And the book was, it was okay. I mean, it was a quick read.
Yeah.
I have to say any suspense that there was kind of disappeared for me the minute the paranormal element was revealed, and it was kind of like, oh, me. Yeah,
no, it just... It was an okay read. I halfway through it, I was just like, why am I reading this? And I was like, well, it's for a buddy read, so I'll finish it. But if I had probably been reading this on my own, I probably would have put it down and never picked it back up again. It was just like, this is so generic, there's nothing new about it. And it just wasn't exciting, and it didn't incite me in the way that it should have.
I mean, I'm quite happy. I don't feel like all of my reads have to fulfill anything in me, or I'm quite happy to have a bit of a candy floss read, something that's just like light and kind of entertains you for the duration that you're reading it. And it was a quick read for me, and it was okay, but I found it quite predictable, and I found the main character quite frustrating, and
just all of it, like, I don't know. Yeah. There are bits of it that I enjoyed, obviously, otherwise I really wouldn't have gone to the end. I probably would have just gone, Caroline, we need to pick a different book, because it's just not what I do. But essentially, it wasn't enough to make the book that enjoyable. Like, if I had to give it stars, and we were at the beginning of the review, it's probably not a good time to mention it, but I'd probably give it 2.
Okay.
It wasn't great.
Just 3. It's okay. It's not something. I don't have any great burning desire to read the sequel. Yeah. I wouldn't say that I'd never read anything else by the author, because her writing was okay. It was just
the storyline.
The storyline just wasn't for me, I think.
Yeah.
And I think if I was like 13 and this was my first paranormal romancy book, then I probably would be all over it. But it's just like you said. There's nothing new here.
So we kind of covered initial thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's go on to things we liked about it to make this review seem a little bit less depressing.
Okay, you go first.
I really liked Jack. He's one of the characters in the book, and I thought he was really cute. He's the youngest character in the book, and he just has this persona about him that's just so easy to sort of get along with, and he was just really nice, and I liked him. I like that about him.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy the romantic elements of this book, but I quite liked the kind of familial and long-standing relationships. In a way, there could be more of it. I like the fact that it wasn't this big happy family, but at the same time there was kind of this authenticity with the kind of the antagonism between the siblings, but ultimately they cared about each other. And although for a long time I was a bit kind of always something going to be a bit creepy about the relationship there, but actually,
No, I quite like the relationship between the siblings as well. But I think as well, what I did like, although it kind of threw me a little bit, was actually how sort of realistic it felt, in the way that it felt weird. It's like a gothic story, so it's going to be a little bit edgy, and even the narration was sort of like, this place is weird. Just generally, the whole lives of these people are weird. She wears old people's clothes, and it just has that very eerie feel.
I think it was supposed to be vintage rather than, you know, flannel.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not just saying that.
No, but then the River turns up and he sounds like he's wearing vintage clothes as well and driving a vintage car. And it was all like, okay.
It was like set in this world, but they didn't have mobile phones, and they didn't, and like this time as well, and it was all, they all had like, it was like she was copping out in saying that the only reason that it's set in today's world and it's working in the way it is because, well, they're all wearing vintagey stuff, and they're not with the world really. They're with the world, but they're not really up to date with everyone. So if that makes sense. Apparently not. Okay, never mind.
Okay. I know what you mean. Like, the sense of placement was quite vague.
It was but it felt like a gothic-y in that way. So that worked well for the story. The story setting worked well because the characters were just that
kooky.
Yeah, kooky. That's the word.
Jack, I assume, is he your favourite character?
Yeah, I think so.
I think my favourite character was one that was dead. I really like Freddie, the grandmother, who is dead 5 years before it starts, and it's just, we only learn about Freddie like through Violet and Violet's discoveries. But I just think, I was reading the book and I was thinking, do you know what, I actually want to know Freddie's story. Violet, that's great, but I would much prefer a book that was actually Violet discovering more about her grandmother's past, and that being the focus of the book. Because I think actually there's an interesting story there, and then it could have just been set as a historical novel.
Yeah, it's like they have this paranormal element in the story, and then they have another story around that's actually different, like a subplot around it, but then the subplot doesn't, it feels like it takes up too much space towards the paranormal elements. It's like, actually this book is about the subplot, not the paranormal elements.
So just make the book about the subplot.
Yeah, I think if it was about the subplot and it wasn't that much about the paranormal elements, it would have been a lot better to read. I think for me anyway, I think the paranormal, because it's so overdone, it would have made it a bit more interesting, a bit more exciting. Well.
Yeah, I just think for me it just wasn't enough, and I just think we've had the Bellas, we're past that. We want a heroine that, you know, you can be swept off your feet by this mysterious boy.
Sorry.
But like, listen to that voice inside your head that's telling you that things aren't quite right.
I think it felt naive to me.
Yeah.
Like, even though she was like trying not to be naive, and I just feel like even the writing style sort of at points felt a bit naive. And I think because I've read YA that is so much better, it made this book worse. But I still feel like there are people out there who would really, really like this book, and it just didn't work for me because I've read better. That came out wrong, but
no.
my tastes are different.
Life experience, like I said, if I'm 13, it was my first paranormal romance. I'd probably love it, but you know, with experience and hindsight and having
or if you like
read,
or if you like the Twilighty
Insta
plots and stuff like that, and if you still really, really enjoy it, then
that's probably
definitely you would like this book. It's just that I'm over that stew. I didn't like it in Twilight, to be fair, so I never really was in that phase, but I'm over it now for definite.
So you decide, you know, does it sound like something you want to read?
So what we will do is give you some recommendations of other books that you can read that are paranormal, that maybe you would prefer.
Okay.
we definitely prefer.
Okay. So I can think of a paranormal that's actually historical, that's really atmospheric, and that would be The Divinos by Louisa Bray. Don't let the fact that that is a like 800-page monster put you off. It's a fantastic book, and actually, yeah, I would recommend reading that.
Good. I would probably recommend Fairyman.
Oh,
I just went there. By Claire McFall, which is again
Romance Perfection.
Paranormal Romance Perfection. It's different. It's not like it's not like this. It's a unique paranormal romance. I would probably also recommend for something a little bit for older people. Out of Nightmares. No, not that one, the first one. Anna Dressed in Blood, which is a bit more like ghosty and like ghost huntery, but I think the romance there is like forbidden, and it's sort of the same sort of thing where it's, you know, it's bad for you, like it is in this book, but it's just done so much better. So yeah, I would definitely recommend
read
that one as
those
well.
books.
But only if you're over 16 or well 15 maybe, because it's gory and gross, and it's suitable for older readers. But yeah, no, that one definitely I really enjoyed. So
I still haven't read it yet, so I just have to.
I have read The Diviners, so
The swap.
Diviners, whatever you want to call it.
Diviners.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, because I saw the size of it, I went, I'm good.
I have a secret audiobook. It's amazing. The audiobook is fantastic. It's one of the best I've ever listened to. The actress is just perfection. Brilliant.
Maybe. Although we know I am like the audiobook, so that might still not work.
I'll link to you on the plane. Excellent. So that's our review of Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. So Faye, what shall we read next?
Oh, we have a brilliant book decided to read next, and that is. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's definitely different from the one we just read. So, and that is Breakable by Tamara Weber, which is actually a new adult title. So if you're not new adult, go away. No, I'm joking. Stay, come back.
I'm really looking forward to this. I loved Easy. It was like the first new adult book that I read. It's still my favourite new adult book, and yeah, so I'm looking forward. Slightly apprehensive about reading it, but
yeah, no, I'm really excited for this one. Super excited. I managed to sway myself to get an advanced reader copy, which is amazing, but then it came like 2 days before the release. But even so, I can't wait to read it. It's going to be really good. So we will get to that next month.
Check back with us next month. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed our video, please like it, and don't forget to subscribe to Bookish Spritz if you haven't already.
Yes, and if you've read Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea and don't agree with us or agree with us, do tell us in the comments, because we want to talk to you.
It's lonely. It's lonely here on YouTube. We need some interaction. Yeah. It's just us talking
at you, which is kind of weird. You should be talking to us. Talk to us. Anyway, that's everything from us today. See you later, guys. Bye. One book that I forgot to recommend, I'm bringing back while we were talking about it, is The Black North by Nigel McDowell. I haven't done my review of this yet, but probably when this goes live. It will be live. But anyway, just finished this book, Gothic, and actually what Gothic should be. Just so much better than Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. Really good, and you should read it if you haven't already. Definitely.